As you pointed out, that the liturgical improvisation should serve as a bridge between the action and your own musical idea. And so it simply means that we should always be in harmony with what's going on and what you are trying to present. Hello and welcome to the Organist Launchpad, brought to you by Royal Canadian College of Organists, where we will be examining Charles Tournemire as a liturgical commentator. My name is Mária Budáčová, and I'm originally from Slovakia, but currently living in Montreal. I'm serving as a director of music, choir director, and organist at Mission Saint-Irénée de Lyon in Montreal, which is led by Priestly Fraternity of St. Peter, commonly known as FSSP. I'm privileged to introduce you to our guest today, Maria Gajraj, hi, who is pursuing a doctoral degree in organ performance at McGill University. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
So today we will be presenting the first three movements from the Office for the Assumption, as you already prepared, from L'Orgue Mystique, written by French composer Charles Tournemire. So we will look into some general aspects of performance practice. At the same time, we will also examine some of the examples of how a liturgical improvisation should look like. Okay?
Great.
Do you find yourself struggling in finding the right idea in parts that you just mentioned, that you have to fill in gaps, but you have troubles in doing so? What exactly you should improvise on?
Yeah, I have problems.
Okay. And do you have a feeling that often you get into playing just a bunch of chords without any sense or melody or any direction, only because you see that communion is lasting longer than you anticipated, and then you have nothing to use into
definitely.
improvising? All right. So as you pointed out, that the liturgical improvisation should really connect with the action that's going on in the Mass and the liturgy. So it really should serve as a bridge between the action and your own musical idea. And so it simply means that we should always be in harmony with what's going on and what you are trying to present. And so learning how to improvise is one step, but capturing the character of the ongoing liturgical action does require more than just the skill to improvise. You know, there are many methods on improvisation, but there's really no one-size-fits-all type of thing, right? So the best way to get started is to find musical examples that would be appropriate to your needs. And these examples then can lead you to developing your own language over time. But even if you don't believe that you can improvise, you can certainly improve by following a consistent practice routine where you search for solutions, and that will contribute to your own growth. It is important also to repeat already learned techniques and patterns, and this repetition will certainly allow you to discover new ways, for sure. So why did we choose a musical example by Tournemire? Simply because his extensive composition of L'Orgue Mystique, which would take about 15 hours to perform, in total, goes hand in hand with the liturgy, since it uses chant melodies as its one and only musical subject. And more importantly, it was written to be played during the liturgy. And although this type of Mass, the extraordinary form of the Roman Rite Mass, is not celebrated in many places, you can still use his music in big feasts, for instance, Easter, Pentecost, Christmas, or Assumption, like we're going to be looking at today. So pieces like these can be challenging for organists of any levels. As you know, you played quite a few of them. And some of them can be played easily at first sight, right? But others require hours of practice to really nail it. So we're going to be looking at the first three movements from the Office of the Assumption, And these three movements point at several different improvisational techniques which Tournemire uses across the entire L'Orgue mystique. So in order to be able to imitate a style of improvisation, we must start with analysis, right? And to improvise, one must search. So let's begin playing, analyzing, and searching. So we're going to be starting with the first movement of the office, which in the liturgy would be performed prior to the chant that's sung at the introit. So let's play the first movement. Great, thank you very much. I think just as a side note, I would close the positive just because the flute 4 is a little too prominent in the pedal, so that you don't lose the sense of the motion in your left hand with the pedal line. So when you're looking at this first movement, are you able to locate the chant where it's hidden or not?
I actually don't know this chant. I'm assuming it's here partially.
So it begins in the first, it's actually in the pedal line only.
Oh, okay.
And it's that's the chant, what it sounds like.
Okay.
So you see that, yes, he would skip a few repeated notes that he would just write. So by knowing that, when you're going to be playing it again, you try to feel that, yes, this is the chant melody, and try to have the pedal line leading you to the next section. Just try the first 6 bars.
Okay.
Okay, that's much better. Perhaps try to not really lean on that top note, that it's without having any sense of time. That don't think about the beats.
Okay.
Think about the direction, how the melody is going. Just try to play that, the 2 bars where the melody comes in. And now try to play it with the left hand.
Sorry, can I do that again?
That's okay, go ahead. That's totally fine. I know it's difficult because the voices are going, the left hand goes above the right hand, so it's hard to read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's much better, but you don't have to take it that fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just relax, okay? So we don't have to do that, but you know, when you're practicing, just think about the melody being in the pedal, leading you towards the left hand and the right hand, what you're doing, okay? So now we treated the melody. So how is Tournemire accompanying this melody? What's he doing with the other voices?
They're following along in parallel motion.
Yes, but some of them, right? It's almost like copying the same melody.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
So that's great. And now when we look at the first two bars, how many times throughout the entire movement do you hear the motive of the first two bars? Can you locate that?
Here,
Yes.
Here and here.
Exactly. And can you find some similarities between these repetitions?
Well, these are very similar, but these ones are changed a little bit. Do you have those?
Yes. So in this case, can you just play the first bar? Okay. Now can you play this bar? Did you notice which note changed?
Yeah, the A sharp.
Yeah, that was the only note that changed.
Yeah.
Because this is the same as that. It's just the A sharp. Now when you move on to the next.
That's
the same as the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Repetition, right? Why do you need to use too much material if you can just recycle what you just played, right? That's easy. And then when you look at the last one. What's changed?
Many things. There's also the G sharp there.
Okay, but when you look at it, you had first one was the fourth, and then you had the second.
Oh, it's just reversed.
Now it's exactly, but the right hand is doing exactly the same thing as it did before. So you see that he did presented the motive, then he changed one single note, then he repeated it in the same form as the beginning, and then in the second one he again changed, and the last one he again changed the note, so like he did the second time, but then he reversed this, so he upgraded it even more than he did over here. Right? So what does it tell you at the end when you just look at the entire piece?
Maybe it's suggesting of like a further development on the chant in later sections.
Okay, but in terms of the form, the way the piece is written, then we have a motive at the beginning, then we have the chant, then the motive returns again, then he works with the chant again. That these motives that he presents at the beginning are framing the chant that you hear, because it continues here again, and then he just concludes with the motive that you heard at the beginning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then after you play this, the chant begins. So what we hear? The choir actually heard the entire quote of the chant, so it's easier for them to pick up after hearing this piece of music.
Oh, okay, that's so cool.
Great.
Yeah.
So is that simple?
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So one more observation after listening and looking at this piece is that it actually never stops until this very moment. That if you look at the note values, constantly moves in 8 notes, right? And it only stops just before the conclusion of the entire movement to really slow it down. But it just moves as if he was trying to portray the procession that was going on before the beginning of the Mass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And join us in our next 2 videos where we will be examining the next 2 movements of the Office of the Assumption by Charles Tournemire. Thank you.